you on and off the scale. Number one, when you are kind to yourself, you are more likely to feel positive about your body. Number two, you are more satisfied overall with your life. Number three, you are physically active because, like, this kind of goes back to what Heather said. It's fun rather than you should work out, right? That's so different mindset of, oh man, I get to work out versus I should work out because you feel guilty or whatever. And then also it helps you maintain with your weight loss. All right. So again, being your own best friend. So think about this. I want you to imagine a close friend and she's going through the same struggles that you are. Like, as always, I know a lot of you have best girlfriends. How do you talk to them when they call you and they're in a bind or they're not doing great things with their weight loss? Like, how do you talk to them? What is your approach to them? Okay. Now I want you to think about how you talk to yourself, the ants versus pets. Think about when you were feeling bad about yourself and then kind of write down what you typically say to yourself. And then I want you to think about those two things. Like, why is that so different? Like, why do you talk to your friend one way and you talk so different to yourself another way? Like, why is there such a difference? Why do you're talking good to yourself? Or it's such a habit that you just default to talking so bad to yourself. So the next time you're feeling bad, think about that for a moment, pause and shift to treat yourself the same way you would a friend, if that makes sense.
Hey, Heather,
I always write down my little notes. Yeah, go ahead. Always. Sure.
Something to think about in this, and this is this is me being the harsh person.
Yeah.
You know, when your friend does call you and says that you're struggling, do you give them an out? Like, oh, it's okay. It's really, really hard. Don't worry about that, you know? Or do you be like, well, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you kind of nailing down what they're doing? In other words, are you empathizing with them? Or are you giving them a rationalization for not doing the hard thing? Does that make sense? Like, again, I talk to myself pretty harshly sometimes, but at the same time, in a loving way. Like I'll, if I get frustrated with something that I'm doing, I kind of like do the old, get your shit together. You can do this. You know this. You've got this. But I don't give myself that excuse. Oh, it's just, this is one of those things that you just can't do. Or maybe you just can't do this today. You know what I mean? Are you giving them a rationalization? Or are you actually empathizing with them? You know what I mean? So think about it that way.
Okay, so let me clarify on that real quick. So, and I understand what you're saying, Barb. So there is a difference in talking to your friend and talking to yourself. Like, okay, get it together, get your shit together, like, let's go. But on the same token, there's a difference between like, oh my God, you're such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. I fucked up. I'm so dumb. Right? Do you see the difference? There is a get your shit together, level up, do the darn thing, versus belittling yourself and saying, I'm so stupid, I'm so lazy, I'm so fat, I'm so dumb. Yes, calling yourself out, but also not degrading yourself in the process. That's the difference. All right, so I want you to think about this. You have helpful ways of thinking, and then you have unhelpful ways. So unhelpful is, man, I overslept this morning. I woke up late. I missed camp. I missed my workout. My day is ruined. I might as well just do whatever. That is not helpful whatsoever. A way to turn that around and say, how is this helpful? Man, I must have been tired. I really need that rest. So tonight I'm going to come home and I'm going to go to early and I'm going to make that workout tomorrow. Or, man, I must have been tired. I'm going to go home early and do some yoga. And helpful. Another one is, this week has been so busy. I haven't had time to prep. I haven't done anything right. I'm just going to start over tomorrow. That is not helpful. Helpful is, yes, I had such a busy week, but what are one or two things that I can do for today to set myself up for success? So always, 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 you have the option to treat yourself with kindness and to speak to yourself in a loving, compassionate, understanding way. And again, I'm going to leave you with Barb said, get your shit together versus degrading yourself and calling yourself names, two different things. So that is your goal for this week is to talk kindly to yourself and practice acceptance, compassion, and understanding. Anybody have any input on that? Or if you've been trying that, or if you're still kind of talking to yourself negatively, like kind of anybody want to 2 cents on that or any clarification? Nope. All right. Miss Barb Marco, you got a big task, Miss Barb Marco, because you have to talk about 6 months.
Yeah. So, yeah, I get to talk about the long-term goals. Mm-hmm. So, first and foremost, I want to start with a little quote. So, you can't. Okay, chasing 2 rabbits down the hole will likely end up in you not catching any. Mm-hmm. So we have to really get focused on what our goal is, and they need to start being more process oriented. So process oriented is going to be an outcome goal every time. So what is the difference? Okay, an outcome goal is I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to run a Spartan race. I want to do 10 pull-ups. All right, that is an outcome goal, right? And you can put, we always talk about SMART goals, right? You're going to put a measurable and a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and a time frame, right? We talk about that all the time. If we don't talk about it, somebody talks about it. So SMART goals are still not enough because you put, okay, I'm just going to use me for a second. I want 10 pull-ups by my 50th birthday. All right. That's what I want to do. How am I going to get there? Right. You kind of have to think about the unpacking of this. So you want to set a long-term goal, but then you have to set the short-term process goals on how you're going to achieve that. So for me, okay, I'm going to set out longer. I want to do 10 pull-ups by September 1st. All right, that's 6 months down the road. All right, how am I going to get there? So what I'm going to have to do is unpack it. What steps do I need to do in order to get to that outcome? So I'm going to have to, 1, practice pull-ups. I'm going to have to work on my lat strength. I'm going to have to maybe trim down a little bit weight. Maybe I'm going to have to eat right. All right, but you're going to have to back it out. So you start at your outcome, then the steps you're going to take over the next 6 months in order to get there. So this is a very high level overview. Let's get a little bit more specific in just a second.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop.
Oh, I'm sorry. Donna's just popped up.
Sorry.
Her dog.
Sorry, my dog is trying to get on me.
That's all right. I was just like, yes. Okay, so most people here are trying to overcome that emotional eating, the self-sabotage, the weight loss. It's kind of a package deal, right? That's what we talked about, getting our shit together. So just getting our shit together the ultimate outcome, that's not specific enough, right? So time to write down we did the vision board, right? So that's kind of what we're going for. We're going for that long-term vision of who you need to be. For me, I'm going to throw mine out there. I want to drop 10 pounds. I want to be a lean, mean fighting machine. I want to be badass at 50. I want to be able to do 10 pull-ups. And then I have to back it out. Okay, so for the next 3 months, I'm going to have to focus on nutrition. Okay, focus on nutrition. Well, what does that entail? For me, that's going to entail tracking my food diary every day, hitting my macros on point, making sure I'm getting all the water. And then, of course, for me, sleep. All right, my sleep is part of my hindrance because, as you all know, as being a CG trainer, sleep is not that regular. All right, so those are the 4 things for the next 3 months I'm working on. But remember I said don't chase too many rabbit holes, right? So for the first 2 weeks, I'm going to work on getting my macros right. Once my macros are into place, then we're going to focus on sleep for the next 2 weeks. All right, every habit you create that new habit, it falls upon itself. So once you get one habit kind of right, the next habit you start working on, and the next habit you start working on, and next thing you know, you've done 7 new things in the course of a 6-month period, which are all processes leading to the outcome. Whew, that was a mouthful. Does anybody have any little minute questions about that so far?
So Barb, so why wouldn't it be efficient or sufficient to just think about the next week? Like why would someone have to think 6 months out versus, man, let me just get through this week, Barb. You're asking way too much of me. I just need to get through this week.
Well, because we don't live in that infinite week. As you move through the process, this is a really hard question to answer without me getting into verbal diarrhea. You have to do it in bite-sized chunks, but again, you have to focus on the process. So the process is going to lead into step after step after step. If you focus that 1 week, okay, so I'm going to do all these things for 1 week, it's going to become so overwhelming to you that you just throw it up in the air and say, fuck it all. And that's how we derail. All right. But then again, you know, we're also talking about that, give yourself grace. So again, we don't want to mix these two together. What we're talking about here is actually setting the outcome. What do you ultimately want? Where is your ultimate happy place? And then the steps that we're going to line out to get there. 1 week, your vision cannot be 1 week at a time, because again, if you derail midweek, what's going to happen to the next day and the next day and the next day? Will you get back on track? Can you get back on track? Will you? Or will you need to call one of us?
Well, and then kind of pertaining to that, Barb and I checked in with you all on Wednesday, and it was so cool because a lot of you said, man, over this 6 months, I would like to lose 25 pounds. And in the moment, that seems like a lot, but you're like, okay, over 24 weeks, that's a pound a week. Man, how doable is that? And then like Barb said, so 1 month, maybe she's just working on her macros. Next month, maybe she's just working on her water. And then the next month, she's working on sleep. But at the end of that 6 months, look how many amazing habits that you have accomplished in that 6 months. And man, that is so much easier than trying to cram everything into 1 or 2 weeks and then getting frustrated and then stopping. So
perfect
for sure.
example of that is something that I actually have done recently. I had to renew my personal training certification, and I wanted to take another nutrition course called Precision Nutrition. And then I decided to do a different macro plan. And I did them, I did all this. I pretty much signed up for all of this within a 2-week period. Well, guess what? We're 3 months out now. I haven't started any of it. All right. It's just sitting there. It's sitting there on my desk because it became too overwhelming. Because I chased too many rabbits, right? So what is the priority? For me, the priority is now renewing my PT certification because I can't be a CG trainer without it. Okay, so that's the first goal. But my outcome is renewing the certification. My process is finishing every chapter, 2 chapters every week. Make sense? Till it's done. Once that's done, that's out of the way. Now I set my next goal, update my nutrition certification. Okay, that's going to take at least 6 months. All right, perfect. We'll work on that. In the meantime, I can be working on my own macros, tweaking them as needed. I don't have to follow a brand new program and a brand new anything until I get the other stuff out of the way. Does that make sense to everybody? I mean, I did this to myself, and it was so funny when we're talking about what we're going to talk about today. I'm like, I have it. I know exactly what I'm going to talk about, and that's unpacking these goals. So, and don't overwhelm yourself. I mean, it's so easy to try to chase more than one goal, you know? So especially when you start thinking weight loss, nutrition, inch loss, exercise, you know, most of you have the exercise down and that you already are regularly working out, right? So just keep that up. Keep that habit going. Don't quit one habit to start a new habit. Keep the other habit going and continue to add on.
Yep, absolutely, for sure. So I'm going to put everybody on screen here, and if you will, go around the room. And most of you have told us what your goal is over the next 6 months, but if you will say it here in the group, that way we can hold you all accountable and each other accountable. So who would like to go first over what you want to achieve over the next 6 months, but working backwards?
And we are recording this, so somebody's going first.
Amber's going first. All right.
Oh. All right, Heather. I would like to lose weight and be injury free.
How much weight are we talking about? 6 months.
Yeah, more specific.
6 months. What's reasonable? How about 30 pounds?
Okay.
And that's 24 weeks, right? That's about a pound and a half a week.
Yep. That's doable. Absolutely doable. Okay.
Okay.
I'm taking notes as we go because some of us talk to you, some of us talk to Barb. So,
Yes.
all right. So injury free and 30 pounds. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay, Donna.
My goal, excuse me, is to lose about a pound a week. So whatever
Okay.
that 24 pounds, I guess, is that?
Yeah. Okay.
And hopefully with that, in the same process, eating better, whatever, I reduce the pain in my back. Still waiting to hear back from on my MRI. I don't know. And then hopefully that'll take some pressure off of my knees to where I could eventually start working out again.
Okay. So lose about 24 pounds and then reduce your back pain. Those two things, right? Okay. It doesn't have to be two. Okay. Got it. Who's next?
Lila, go. Oh, Cynthia, go.
Okay, same here, lose weight. I'm trying to get under 200 pounds, so I'm about 25 pounds difference. Of course, I did come back from vacation. I was so proud of myself. Being 7 pounds lighter after 2 weeks.
That is
on vacation.
awesome. Awesome.
Must have done
Hold on,
right.
wait. Cynthia, when at the beginning of the call, we said, let's talk about wins. You didn't bring that one up.
She sure didn't. What the heck?
I posted it. I didn't.
You did.
But I did lose 7 pounds on the 2 weeks. So I'm ahead of my game. So still looking at 25 pounds within the 6 months.
All right.
I think another thing I need to work on, especially winter, is very difficult for me for my water intake. So I feel like I'm not drinking enough water.
Some more water.
So yeah, I'm probably carrying a gallon with me wherever I go and try to start drinking it as the day goes by.
Okay. Congratulations. Awesome. Very cool. All right. Heather, what you got?
Oh, never mind. Amber did it already.
All right, so I don't know how to phrase it, but my weight isn't my number one goal because that's going to come if I can get my head straight. So mine is more like knowing that I don't have to be perfect to take care of myself.
Okay.
And when I make poor choices, because we always do, that's just part of life, that it doesn't derail me. And through that, being able to lose the weight, 25 pounds. And I want to go up on my weights.
What pound?
25.
5? Okay.
25. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Who is left? Paula?
Paula? Did you say Paula?
I thought Paula was on here. Am I wrong? Okay. Is anyone else?
She's in Hawaii. I don't think she's going to be on the call.
You are right, Barb. Okay. Anybody else?
Um, yeah, Shyla hasn't talked yet.
Okay.
I'll probably lose weight. I think.
Oh, I don't feel confident in that answer, Shyla. It was like,
Yeah,
probably lose weight.
I'm trying to think how much, because I had to get under 200 pounds again as well. Because I don't know. When I started TG, I was right around 200, but
So how many pounds is that?
a good 25, 30 pounds.
Are you confident that you can do this? Is that realistic for you over 6 months?
Yeah. My thing to work on is make sure I food prep, because that's my biggest falls when I don't prep on the weekends. And the week of it is, I don't go off too bad, but I don't eat like I should.
Okay.
I think it's funny, we can all say that. One thing I really wish I was hearing more of is, instead of being so focused on pound loss, which makes me believe that your guys are still really attached to your scale, maybe a little shift in focus to measurements and how you look, or is it pant size? Is it bra size? If you were to drop 3 inches in your waist and 2 inches off your chest and, go down 2 dress sizes, would you be happy with that? Or are you still more attached to that number on the scale? And I'm asking this from a real perspective, because I have historically been attached to my scale, but I've realized, you know what? That number does not define me, because I weigh the same as I did 6 months ago, yet my pant size is smaller. So guess what?
Yep.
That's a win. That's a win in my book. Well, now I got to find out for all those shorts, but
Or like Heather said, not perfect, to learn to take care of herself and not derail, and then the results will speak for herself. So she came from a different mindset of habits versus just the scale. Yeah, that is so true, for sure. Yeah.
So as you guys post these this week and maybe talk about goals a little bit, maybe let's talk about that. Maybe some non-scale oriented goals. Like, again, for me, it's fitting into, a pair of pants I've owned. They're my favorite pants. They hadn't fit in a while. Getting back into those was a big deal.
And then last thing I'm going to leave you with is 6 months from now, again, working backwards, all the little bitty habits, positive or negative, that you're not even thinking of, are going to end up in those bigger habits, right? Not even like Barb said about weight loss, but the meal prepping or the not meal prepping, the eating this or eating that, all the things that maybe you don't even think of, those daily things are going to add up to what you're looking for 6 months from now. And man, it's so easy to think 6 months from now, I got all the time in the world, right? That's why we're working backwards and thinking about the overall picture versus just this week. So hopefully this helped you, because motivation will not always be there. It's good old-fashioned discipline is what it boils down to on most days, for real. That's the honest to God's truth. It's just discipline, because motivation is up and down, and that won't keep you there.
Yep.
So
right now it's motivation if you're like looking at the bathing suits in the store and going, oh my God, summer's around the corner, versus actually just saying, you know what, I'm gonna do the hard thing. And like right now it can be tough, especially I always think daylight savings time gets me every single time. Tomorrow morning I am not gonna want to get out of bed. I'm not gonna lie. So y'all will see me at camp tomorrow morning. It's gonna be ugly. So Heather and I are more bubbly and fancy, but not me. So
yeah, that's true. All right, any questions, comments before we go? Nope. All right.
I am stopping the recording. Oh, Heather, did you put your hand up? Or are you waving?
I'm trying to talk.
Oh.
So, we get our meal plans monthly, right?
Right.
Now. And so we have those 2 meal plans. So do we want to do that for 4 weeks, or do we want to do, one of the other weeks of meal plans that you had given us previously?
Stick with those macros because those are the ones that are going to get you closer to your goal. And again, use
Okay.
the substitution list freely.
Okay.
Substitute in different vegetables and stuff. And we talked about posting recipes every week. So we're going to add some of that in. Those will all be pretty, what do I want to say, very clean recipes that'll be coming down the pipe. So feel free to interject those at pretty much any dinner or lunch or dinner. I don't know if I have a breakfast I'm going to post for a little bit, but they'll be, when I say clean, they'll be at least less than 15% fat. There'll be adequate protein and pretty higher carb, which is, I don't know if y'all are noticing that I do have a lot of you on a higher carbohydrate content that you might be used to, but it's because carbs are not the enemy. And I'm proving that to you daily because y'all can have bananas and oatmeal and enjoy your day.
Mm-hmm.
And
then one more.
Bread, damn it. What's that?
One more question.
Yeah.
So I remember there was one time when Paula had posted a meal and I'm like, how did you know how to do that? And her response was, like she saved something from her breakfast and added it to her dinner. So is that a good idea? If can we do that? Or can we have lunch for dinner and dinner for lunch?
Oh yeah. Those things, yeah, you can always do that. What I don't want to see happening all the time is day for day. Like taking a breakfast from one day and swapping it with the breakfast from the other day, because sometimes your breakfast might be more fat heavy or protein heavy than the other day. You know what I mean? So, and it could end up skewing the whole day if you do that consistently. But no, if you're throughout the day, if you're like, you want to flip it on its head and have breakfast for dinner and dinner for breakfast, no, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so like, if I have yogurt in the morning for breakfast, or it's one of my snacks, but I'm going to have the Spanish rice and something, Mexican-y, I use my yogurt as my sour cream substitute. So I can take a portion of that yogurt out for my breakfast and then have it back in as my sour cream for my dinner, or no? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want to overdo that all the time because what we can do is think about that sauces and stuff moving forward. As you guys get smaller and you lose those 20 pounds and 10 pounds, guess what? You get less food. So I'm going to give you more calorie dense food in order to keep you from being too hungry. So that's the balance that makes my job so hard sometimes, is trying to keep you full enough where you're not, and getting all the vitamins and minerals and everything else you need in addition to good flavored food that's not hard. You know what I mean? My job's tough, man.
And then last thing, I'm working on securing a yoga instructor for us for our next meetup. So look forward to that. A little yoga for next meetup. And we'll
Barb,
post
I have
that.
one question.
Sorry.
If like for some reason there was a day that I was just hungry this week and I had, really eaten everything, what do you suggest if I just feel like I need something else to eat?
You can always have a piece of fruit. You can always pretty much have a serving of vegetables. A salad with a little vinegar or lemon juice or whatever on it. You can always, and you can literally, not gonna lie, you can throw in a huge salad and be less than 100 calories. Your body's that hungry, and peak week, probably not uncommon because your afterburn is so high. And I always say make sure it's balanced, but pretty much any kind of fruit.
Those were the 2 days I was hungry.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
Yeah, and that's good to pay attention to, because that's telling you a couple of good things, is that your body is revving, your metabolism is roaring, your muscles are burning calories like no tomorrow. So you're going to actually get that extra, what I call boost. And you don't want to give yourself back too much, because otherwise you'll quit losing, but you don't want to also force your body to catabolize itself, eat itself.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, we really, really, really appreciate y'all spending the Sunday with us. I know y'all probably have to rearrange schedules and lock your family out of the house, but seriously, the people that are here, and I mean, this is not against anybody else, but you do better when you connect and you come back into the group. Watch your week this week. You'll have great success for the simple fact that you're here, and you'll hang up this phone call and you'll think differently just by investing in yourself. How long it was. So we really, really appreciate your time. We do. Yeah.
All right, guys, have an
So
awesome
that's all
day.
we have, Barb. Our little phone call ends at 40 minutes. We're at 38
I gotta stop recording now.
because it'll turn off. All right. Bye.